in the deepest heart of the jungle, where sunlight struggled to pierce the canopy, a kingdom thrived, and at its center ruled a tiger named Raghav. He wasn't just a predator, he was a presence. His stripes were a symbol of strength. His eyes, a well of wisdom. Every creature, from the smallest monkey to the mightiest elephant, knew his name and respected his law. Under his watchful gaze, the jungle maintained a delicate, ancient balance. He was not a tyrant who ruled through fear, but a guardian who protected his subjects. Life was a symphony of chirps, calls, and rustling leaves, all in perfect harmony. But harmony is a fragile thing. Far beyond the valley, in the shadowy fringes, where the jungle's law grew thin, lived his brother, Karan. Once, they were inseparable, two sides of the same golden coin. They had chased butterflies together as cubs, and learned the ways of the hunt side by side. But as Raghav's star rose, a shadow fell upon Karan's heart. Jealousy, a slow and patient poison, had seeped into his veins. He could not stand to see his brother crowned king, to hear the jungle sing his praises while he remained a mere echo. So, Karan began to conspire. He sought out the discontented, the ambitious, the outcasts. He found allies in the cackling hyenas, their laughter masking their treachery. He whispered promises to the cunning jackals, who lived by their wits and their greed. Soon, a venomous rumor snaked its way through the undergrowth, carried on the wind. The king is old. His claws are dull. The throne should change. Pause. It was a lie, but a lie told often enough begins to sound like truth. The whispers grew louder, bolder, disturbing the peace Raghav had fought so hard to build. Raghav felt the change. The air grew heavy, the silence between the calls of the wild more profound. One evening, as the sun bled across the sky, painting the clouds in hues of orange and crimson, he stood atop the highest cliff. His golden eyes, missing nothing, scanned the vast expanse of his kingdom. On the surface, everything was as it should be. The river flowed, the birds sang their evening songs, the trees stood silent and majestic. But a king's senses are sharp. He could feel a darkness gathering at the edges, a storm brewing just beyond the horizon. The scent of rebellion was in the air. That night, the moon rose, but it was a strange, blood-red moon, casting an eerie glow upon the land. The air turned unnaturally cold. As Raghav rested, his ears twitched. A distant roar cut through the night, a sound he knew intimately. It was deep, sharp, and filled with a chilling challenge. It wasn't the cry of prey or a territorial dispute. It was a declaration. It was Karan. Without hesitation, Raghav rose and stepped from the warmth of his den into the encroaching gloom. The first drops of rain began to fall, and the wind howled through the trees like a mournful spirit. From the swirling mist, a figure emerged, taller, leaner, but burning with a ferocious intensity. It was Karan. His eyes glowed like embers in the dark, his claws already unsheathed and glistening. "So, brother!" Karan's voice was a low, menacing growl, a stark contrast to the calm he once knew. "Still playing the hero? Still pretending this kingdom is yours to protect?" Raghav's posture was regal, his voice unwavering, calm but laced with steel. "This jungle has no need for a ruler who kills for pride." Karan let out a dark, hollow laugh that echoed through the trees. "Then it has no need for you at all." In an instant, the brothers charged. It was a clash of titans, a thunderous explosion of roars and claws that shook the very ground. Lightning split the sky, illuminating the savage dance of orange and black. They fought for the throne, for the jungle, for a destiny that was now irrevocably broken. But before a final blow could be struck, the heavens opened. A deafening clap of thunder roared, and the rain crashed down in a torrential sheet, forcing them apart. Soaked, bleeding, and panting, Raghav glared through the storm. "This isn't over," he growled, the words a solemn vow. Karan simply melted back into the darkness, a phantom of hatred. As the first, gentle light of dawn touched the rain-washed leaves, Raghav limped back to his den. A small, furry head peeked out from the entrance. It was his cub, Karan, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and innocent curiosity. Raghav looked down at his son, the future of his lineage, and a wave of profound love and responsibility washed over him. He lowered his head and whispered, his voice hoarse but clear, "Remember this, my son. A true king's power is not in his roar or the sharpness of his claws. It is in his promise to protect, to endure, to lead." And from that day forward, the jungle would remember the king, who swore an oath that would echo long after he was gone. Because even when kings fall, their courage roars forever. If you want to see what becomes of Raghav's promise, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Part 2 is coming soon. Thank you for watching.